All right, everybody. So second half of this is what do we do to prevent forest fires? There's a lot of different ways, but one of the ways you'll see right here is you'll see this path.
It's called a fire line.
All right.
And this is what they do to make sure that the fire doesn't spread unless it wants to do a jump. And it's just basically the fire has to make a big leap.
Mm-hmm.
They get the leaves out of the way, they open it up to the base of the surface, and then it would have to go in the ground or over, but it would really have to jump the trail that the gentleman made in the past to prevent the fire from moving.
So the reason I always think that fire is living is because fire needs oxygen and fire consumes fuel. So with this fire that we saw, the main fuel is these leaves, because it hasn't rained in like what?
A whole month.
A whole month,
yeah.
Right? And these flew down, and these are just excellent kindling. So this goes up in flame, and then if it gets windy, it just...
It's a driven fire.
And fire always moves uphill. Very rarely does it spread downhill. It's a slow path when it goes downhill. It will still go down, but at a slow rate, but the uphill. And so this fire was considered a ground-covered forest fire. So it did the base of the trees, the leaves, the ferns, all the low growth on the earth.
Yes, and Vermont doesn't have like what is out west with all of the fir trees that have the tar in them. We have more of what's a sap, which is more like water.
Gotcha. So you can imagine trying to start a forest fire in Vermont. You got these waterlogged trees versus more of like these drier trees, like a Christmas tree with the sap where it just goes like, boom!
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now, the other thing they might do, tell me if I'm wrong on this, like, so this is to get the cover, but we learned about, remember last year we learned about ghost fires with Canada and about how when those evergreens go up real easy, real hot, but then you think that's wintertime and fire dies, it goes underneath with the roots. So potentially what you might do is dig like a ditch here so that the fire doesn't travel underneath with the roots, I believe.
That's correct. A week after the fire, there was a class up here, and they were finding fire in the ground, which is basically underneath the evergreen.
Yeah, so the evergreens are just the ones that like to spread. Oh, all right.
And all the dry needles underneath, that's where it would keep burning.
Beautiful. All righty, guys. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Keep winning.